What's good, everyone on YouTube and Twitch? This is Very Melon Man, and welcome to the start of another live stream for Baldur's Gate 3 as a Tiefling Sorcerer. This session should be at 60 frames per second. I don't know if it's going to automatically switch back to 30. I don't know if it originally switched back to 30 when I wasn't paying attention, but hopefully you guys enjoy it at that level now. So anyway, last we left off, we started the game, we defeated, well, the Mind Flayer commander to get his sword. We unlocked Withers over there by exploring the dank crypt. We got all of our Origin companions as well. We also have to rescue some Tiefling refugees being thrown out of their only place of residence by a crazy druid, by rescuing a sane druid. Well, let's go rescue that druid now. Okay. But first, let's take a moment to talk to our companions, specifically all of them, about their stuff.
Karlach's got the brawn of a warrior and the wiles of a survivor. Best of all, she speaks her mind plainly and fully. Show her due respect.
Alright, so you're sure a crash are only path to a cure?
Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zaithis purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding.
That kind of wisdom is very valuable.
Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond.
I mean, I get most of my knowledge from reading books. What am I going to disagree with?
Exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos, and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
You look so unusual. Githyanki are rare in these parts.
I expect I am your first.
I know of Githyanki, but I never met one.
Of course you haven't. They would have cut you from navel to neck. You are no less alien to me than I am to you. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake.
Well, we should probably look in the mirror and not break the glass house before we start arguing about noses. Because apparently no one really likes to pick your race to play this game because of your nose. As if your upturned bat snout's any better.
Better is an opinion, but mine is certainly more economical, disciplined, dignified.
Do you know much about Mind Flayers?
I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
Alright. What happens if we don't find a cure?
Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore, and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a Mind Flayer is born.
That's not going to happen. We will find a cure.
Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me.
Your way haven't changed? It's good news.
Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
Alright, well, you're getting booted, so wait for me in camp.
Chuck, you believe you can survive without me?
I just picked up another warrior chick. Yes.
As you say, do not keep me waiting.
We may have to increase our camp provisions now that we have Karlak along for the journey. Those muscles don't run on fresh air, I'll wager. Still, she'll be useful in a fight.
That's the idea. What's the story of that little artifact you have?
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
Those murals in the grove. Something that seemed to catch your eye.
What can I say? They were eye-catching. Consider me an art lover.
Alright, so what do you think of all that's happened to us so far?
We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little?
You know some thoughts about the little stowaways?
Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. Personally, I think finding this Halcyon is our best bet. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith Kresh will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind.
What do we do if we actually manage to remove the tap holes?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course.
Never for us not stay together if we get on well.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible.
Seems personal. I won't pry if it's not something you want to talk about.
Thank you. And you're right. It's a delicate matter. Not something for light conversation.
How am I holding up your estimations?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
We should get to know each other a little more.
Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think?
Well, after relying on each other, easy if we knew each other as well.
Easy is often less interesting. Besides, we've
Yeah.
plenty of reason to rely on each
Thanks.
other already. You can't confide in just anyone about a monster in your head.
If you're not comfortable, I won't press you.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
Alright. Tough nut to crack, but I'll crack it. One way or the other.
I knew we were a strange band, but a fugitive from the Hells? Now that's someone worth knowing. Not that I want to get on the wrong side of any devils, but this Karlak is a survivor. Plus, I appreciate anyone who opens a conversation with threats of bodily harm.
That's all about yourself.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
Really.
I'm hurt. I thought we had something special.
Actually, never mind. Yeah, we need to find out what his deal is later on in the game. Alright, after we met him, we met Will. Oh wait, not Will. You.
An ally fresh from the Hells themselves. Our company grows stranger by the minute. And all the better for it.
You're right. You look about well, man.
You see, I have this condition.
God damn these
Very different from the
audios.
parasite we share.
Now that was an audio issue purely from the game's end, not from my streams. Is it contagious?
No, nothing like that. Though if I fail to treat it, then the consequences would not be contained to me alone. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside.
Your illness causes you to consume raw magic. I need the details.
I can say no more on the matter. Not now, anyway. Just trust me when I say it's all of vital importance. It's been days since I last consumed it. In fact, since before we were abducted. It's time. And by that, I mean it's imperative that I find and consume strands of weave at the earliest possible juncture.
All right. Where is just we find the artifacts you need, though? It could be something specific.
We've already done the finding. In fact, you have one in your possession. You know for yourself how hard-won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more are required to assuage my hunger. There'll be danger involved, or great cost.
I accept this much. Don't worry, I'm happy to help.
Splendid. Your boldness will serve us well. As luck would have it, you're already primed to give me exactly what I need.
All right. Kamrika's amulet casts the dancing lights cantrip, which we don't really need to do. You don't need to use that for a moment, so.
Thank you.
Basically, the best way to do this,
Hit the spot.
defeat Gale.
I can feel it work. The magic, it's like a lullaby that sings to sleep the demon inside. A metaphorical demon, I haste to point out, but no less dangerous. And no less bound to wake up again to continue its ravages. Such is the nature of all monsters.
I'm glad you're feeling better. Your condition sounds unpleasant, to say the least.
Oh, it's not so bad once you get used to it. And, on the plus side, my tower in Waterdeep has never been so free of clutter. Sincerely, though, I understand I ask a lot from you with few answers in return. But in time, all will be told.
Don't mention it, glad I could help. So, I'm not going to be this much of a dick. At the end of the day, the best magical items to feed Gale are ones that you don't see yourself using, or ones that you've outgrown as you increase in level and get more powerful gear. Just pace your gear and rare equipment acquisition with how much you want to feed up Gale, and it will work.
My lord, I bow to your boundless kindness. What's on your mind?
Alright. Why does it require magic, actually?
Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone.
Alright, let's leave. Now we can talk to Will.
His brows furrow as your minds connect. He sees the burning embers of Joaquin's rest, then Floric's face as she tells you of Ravengard's abduction.
Hells. Older Ravengard's been taken.
Yes, Drow set fire to the inn's soul away with the Duke.
Then we need to seek him out and get him to safety. You see, Grand Duke Ravengard is my father. I know I have.
Woo! Man, that's a hell of a twist to just drop on me right there.
Not least for him.
All the time I was getting, I didn't even know Ravengard had children.
Just the one. Yours truly. My father and I were close once upon a time, until he disowned me and cast me out of Baldur's Gate. Such a rift isn't so easily mended. But it's not so wide that I'd let my own father suffer at his captor's hands.
Why? You shouldn't keep secrets like this from me, Will.
I know. And you're right. When I look into a mirror, I see two faces. I see the Blade of Frontiers.
I mean, Gale's... I literally... Sorry, I'll wait till you're done talking.
And I see Will Ravengard. A memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind.
Right, so basically, Shadowheart has a big secret she's not willing to tell us about yet. Gale's secret is understandable because it could potentially be something that no one else can help him with. So he'd have to tell us sooner or later. He can't hide it forever. Astarion has a secret too. Clearly, that's the only reason we can't get much out of him. What do you think the Drow... But Will's secret is mundane enough that I can understand why he would want people to his chest, but it isn't really something he needs to hide from people. That's the way I see it. So what do you think the Drow wants with your father?
I've been asking myself the same question. What makes a Duke of Baldur's Gate so interesting to the Drow? Even the houses of Menzoberranzan would have little use for my father. No, this is no Drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction. His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldur's Gate to ruin. All the more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast.
Let's talk about something else then.
I'm all for it.
What's it like being the son of a Grand Duke?
Not so enchanting as you'd think. The Portiers, the Caldwells, they were the blue bloods hosting the fancy balls and drinking from gold goblets. Father's the son of a blacksmith, born with barely a coin in the coffers. He made a name for himself among the Flaming Fist. Brave as Baldur and stubborn as a deep Rothay. Daring, outspoken, but hardly posh. I spent more time dueling with father than I did rubbing elbows with lords. Not to say I didn't develop a taste for good wine and the talent for courtly dance.
So you understand the high life. And now you're the Blade of Frontiers. Quite a change, don't you think?
Yes and no. Father taught me the 4 pillars of power. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. He reckoned I'd follow in his footsteps. First as a fist marshal, then as a duke. Vanquish evil, maintain order, save the world. But a duke makes bedfellows with more monsters than he slays. Father called it diplomacy. I called it hypocrisy. In the frontiers, there is no posturing, no diplomacy. I slay monsters, I don't consort with them. Well, not when I can avoid it.
Alright, so how's the Blade of Frontiers end up chasing Devil in the house?
Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it. And she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Zariel's own. Chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach. Even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking. The damage she might be doing.
Who is this source of yours?
A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more.
Alright, other matters.
What else is on your mind?
You could try talking to Karlach right here. What do you make it, Raphael?
He brings to mind a story. The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think?
With the right teacher, yeah. What are your thoughts of the devil?
Refuse him, no matter how tempting the offer, no matter how delicious the feast he lays out for you. The cost will be too great.
I have no interest in the devil's deal.
That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you only what you're least ready to part with, and then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything.
Alright, how did you come to be Blade of Frontiers, actually?
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. After my exile, I was hunting near the Cloakwood. I heard a child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
What behind a saving man's life? You must feel proud.
Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade. And so I heeded.
It's nice way to put a face in the name, though.
And it's nice to meet someone of your talents. Having a worm wriggling in my skull didn't instill much confidence in the days ahead. With you as my ally, the future looks a little less daunting.
So notice your stone eye. Did you lose in battle?
A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Alright.
Tiny grooves spider across the ice surface. It resembles a sanding stone used to confer with distant contacts.
Isn't your eye a sending stone?
A sending stone? Nothing so special, I assure you.
His breathing quickens. His jaw tenses. Will is keeping something from you.
You can't hide from my insight.
Courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
Alright, though, let's switch the subject.
Gladly. What else is on your mind?
I like Gale, but I'm keeping all my good gear well out of sight. Everything fancy he touches meets a grisly end. Hey,
So how'd you find the Blood War?
trust me, I'll tell you all about it after we take care of the goons on my tail.
Come on, we're hanging out.
Aces. What's the story?
Alright, Barbarian, go up to level 2, which gives us Danger Sense and Reckless Attack. Reckless Attack is main skill for damage. Gain advantage, roll 2 dice, rather than 1, the game will select the highest. But enemies have the same advantage against you. Danger Sense gives her an advantage on dexterity saving throws against traps, spells, and surfaces. It's a passive applied to her character. Basically, her main gameplay style is to use Rage as her bonus action on my first turn and charge into combat. Not at level 3, though. Now I can pick the Berserker subclass for her. Oh, she has Speak with Animals. Cool. But only with Wildheart. Oh, this explains why she's so in tune with the druids. Berserker, or Barbarian, gives her the charge, her Rage charge, Frenzied Strike. As a bonus action, make a melee attack with your equipped weapon. With a bonus action. Oh, it's a bonus action. Nice. Frenzy, additional ability into Frenzied Rage, a bonus action, allowing you to make an additional melee weapon attack in each of your turns. And Rage Throw. Pick an item, a creature, and throw at the target, dealing additional damage, knocking the target prone. Nice. Legacy of Avernus, Searing Strike.
To live in more interesting times. We meet again.
And last but not least, good old Weathers.
I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services.
Not to be rude, but what are you?
There are many answers to that question. None are important.
Alright, skeletons aren't supposed to be able to talk, though.
Correct.
And you're going to explain further.
No.
Alright. You were storing something before. What were you doing?
Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking.
Will these hirelings rejoin me willingly?
Most willingly.
passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them.
Can I trust these cultists? Impressive. Are there any ways you can help us?
Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish?
So it begins to see why Withers is so great. I will get into hirelings a lot later, because that's a pretty complicated system all by itself. That's incredibly powerful magic. Why is it so easy for you?
Because it is my calling. There is little else to explain.
What's the cost?
A matter of coin.
That's outrageous.
Such is life. Outrage leading to a singular end.
Wow, what a deep, amazing way to justify your greed. Alright, we're not going to get into changing class right now either.
What's so funny? You haven't got some laughing curse, have you?
I really made it out of Avernus. It's
All
incredible.
right, just keep it down. We're conspicuous enough without your hyena call.
Cut it out. It's worse than Knowles out there.
Nothing we need to worry about.
How about a dragon? Would that worry you?
I'd give it a bloody good fight, that's for sure.
The only thing you give a dragon is bad gas.
Never a dull moment.
Please, no more. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders.
Yeah, buddy. Also, you're missing one horn.
Please, we just want to go home.
Oh, now you want to go home.
Nothing in his demeanor betrays him.
Alright. There we go.
The Archduchess will be delighted when we return with Karlach's head.
You don't care, Karlach. Want to kill her on Zariel's behalf.
I never was good at playing the coward. There is no beast here or in the hells I fear. Not with her ladyship's protection. Least of all, this dog.
I'm surprised you went with the D word.
Consider your alliance with this animal. She destroys all she touches. Useful in the blood war. Frighteningly dangerous anywhere else. Rage all you want, Karlach. Burn with the might of the hells. Zariel will find you. She will bring you home in pieces, and your little friends will have to watch. Unless we feed you their eyeballs first.
Avernus was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back!
You can always flee as a fight we rather avoid. Okay.
Time to move.
Blood comes easy these days.
Eat this. Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
No harm in trying.
Okay. Saved. All right. All right. So, barbarian. Brembire. We'll use it the first time for bonus action and charge in. Enraged.
covered.
So much for peace.
Alright, shove. No? Okay.
Can't slow down.
Got to concentrate. On I go.
Alright, let's see here. Bless, heal a creature you can see. Level 2.
Fuck yes.
Character can react to a reaction. Manager. Favorable reactions to reactions to have your risk in. Karlach used Frenzy Strike and Anders. Karlach used 14 hit. Karlach rolled 1. Choose how to react. Reckless attack. Alright. Alright.
Under their noses.
A better position.
Another fight. Let's go. Another step forward.
Alright. And Hunt the Devil's been completed.
Fuck them. Fuck.
And that was a good fight.
I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash.
Oh, Zarya won't get near you again. We'll make sure of that.
That's right, she won't. She can't. She couldn't even lay a finger.
Man, okay. You're weird, but you're okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh my god.
Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots.
Wow. Yeah, you did.
Lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look?
Hot.
Careful, soldier. If I burn any hotter, I might explode. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells.
Man, okay.
Since I left Avernus.
You're a cool lady.
Seeing my mechanic anytime
Ironically.
soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close till I've found a way to calm it down.
How in the hell did you get an infernal engine for a heart?
High pain tolerance. And a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later.
Oh, wow, okay.
Appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A Tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him.
There are some tieflings holed up in the Druid's Grove. We might look there.
Sounds like a good lead. Hopefully our guy will be among them. A tune-up would do this old tub a world of good.
Whatever killed those gnolls might be nearby. Careful.
Interesting, because if I still get that, that means Carla did not do it. Oh, that's right. We can talk to you now.
Soldier.
Okay, so how'd you end up with that?
The year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell.
So maybe the boss who gave it to Zariel. Who was it? Oh, tell them.
I'll mete out the best ones bit by bit, so you always have a reason to keep me around. Clever, right?
You know how this game works. Who was it?
Gortash, politician, inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job, a good job, with people I liked, doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Oh, to feel so invincible again.
Okay. What's that foreign legion do to you?
Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close.
You must be pent up.
I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole entire affair out, get myself...
Yeah, I guess we can just be upfront about it, huh?
But, not today.
Alright, so all things being equal, I think the best thing for us is to get some sleep. Sure.
One horn, the stink of Avernus, Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
Karlach, the archdevil Zariel's gladiator, come to burn the Sword Coast to ash.
You got it wrong, Will. Karlach's not out to hurt anyone.
Well, not counting the fuckers that need a good hurting.
Shut it, devil. I know your kind. A heart darker than a shadow's...
If you know they're kind, Will, why are you willing to follow a Tiefling right now?
Taste the blood.
A devil? I didn't take the blade for a fool. I...
A great fire roars through you. The fire of the first hell. You are Karlach, tearing through demons across a blood-red landscape of fire and volcanic cinder. The front lines of the Blood War. With every swing of her axe, Karlach fulfills Mistress Zariel's purpose.
Proof, clear as summer sky. It's over, Karlach. It's time you feel the sting of the blade.
I've tried to tell you.
I'm not what you think I am.
Another vision. Karlach's blade rays slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes...
Yeah, okay, that servant part should make it very clear what's going on.
Shudders with Karlach's desperation. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
By Baldur's helm, No, I will not be tricked.
You saw the truth. I may be an effective soldier, but I never wanted to serve Zariel. Legged it away from her the first chance I got.
And yet you served.
Stand down. You saw what I saw. Karlach is not in danger.
No! Devils cannot be trusted!
Karlach's not a devil, and you know it.
Would you listen to sense? This doesn't have to end badly for either of us.
You know monsters better than anyone. Can't you look in my eyes and see I'm not a devil?
You don't know what this means. You don't know what you're asking me to do.
I'm asking you to live, Will. Don't want to hurt you. And to be frank, I'd rather not find out how the blade got his name. I swear to you, on all I am, I'm not what you think.
Shit! Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Probably should have brought him to the Paladins, but okay.
Thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
Okay, so aside from Lazael and Shadowheart, these two are gonna obviously have the most issues with each other.
Even when the hells burn hottest.
And they've reached the understanding.
Glad Will saw sense. Even more glad he decided to stick around. Takes a pretty slick mover to track down old Karlach.
I'm glad he's joined us too. Glad Duke can make peace.
Same. Now, instead of a liability, I've got a friend. Or I will have Sue, anyway.
Seems like Will and Karlach will play nice from now on. Saves us having to pick sides.
Nothing like a little camp drama to spice up the evening. It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun.
Good thing for Will that Karlach called a truce. A tiefling that mighty would shred him to pieces and burn the remains.
Interesting opinion there. Alright, everyone looks really good. They're looking at me differently.
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly.
Someone said you want Karlach's tail. I'd like to know who this Sorcerer is.
I can say only this. Karlach's not the only one who's had villains knife held to their throats. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance.
Penance? Should I be worried?
You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me.
Oh, well, I'm not losing any party members, so we'll deal with that penance when it comes.
Thank goodness that's all dealt with. The odds are stacked high enough against us already. They'll need to turn on each other.
Those pumpkins are delicious.